Before I start on this one, I just want to say a few words about one of us who've been pushing back against the tyranny, about the nonsense that's been going on, who is very ill at this moment. And she's been a great fighter. She's been a friend to this channel. And although I've never actually met her, I've spoken to her on the phone many times, her and her husband, and she was taken ill just over a week ago. She is somebody who eats incredibly well and looks after herself and takes all the supplements, but somehow something has affected her. I won't say her name at this stage because she's not very well. The NHS have been trying to do things, other people have been trying to do things, but they've all given up. And she is at home now and waiting, I think, for the end. And it's very, very sad. So my heart goes out to them. And to her particularly, of course. Anyway, to carry on with the video that I want to make today is I gather that the farmers are beating a path down to Parliament. I'm not really sure about it. Somebody was telling me about it yesterday or the other day, and they said, oh, are you going to go on this big protest? Well, I don't go to protests. Protests to me are those things where you acknowledge that the people in power are in power. And you're begging, oh, please, please can I have my rights? Please am I allowed to do this? Please don't treat me badly. That's what protests seem to be. You're protesting to somebody who has power and you're acknowledging that they have power over you. Now, so I gather that farmers are going to do this. Now, I think farmers should definitely get together and say to themselves, look, what is going on in this world? We cannot have this. What with all the spraying of the skies, the policies that the government and DEFRA push out. Absolutely, I think that this is it. But maybe it would be better, I believe, that the farmers were to meet all together in a big 10-acre field farm somewhere away from the government and have a discussion themselves, meet up in the huge numbers that they're going to do. Yes, get the press coverage to say they've done this and almost, you know, make it difficult for the press to come in and find out what they are talking about. Because what I think the farmers could be talking about is about why we are not going to do the things that the government want us to do, taking away agricultural land, for example, from growing or husbandry, and instead supplanting it or covering it with these solar panels all over the place, or indeed the wind farms, or these big lithium-ion batteries that they want to shove everywhere that people don't like. They don't want to be bribed to grow just flowers or plant trees or do anything but grow food. So many of these farmers are people who either own their own land or rent. They're tenant farmers. They've been farming for several generations. This is something they know what to do, but they've been duped. They've been duped into taking the subsidies as the only means of survival and going down the highly industrial route of farming and producing monoculture, which, as we have seen, has taken away the hedgerows, has decimated the, well, more than decimated, decimated means 10%, has absolutely obliviated wildlife, the pollinators, the bees, and all the other insects that are required to help plants grow. And they've been duped into using things like glyphosate and other herbicides, insecticides, and all these other suicide things that are there affecting us and going into the food chain. And I think farmers ought to get together in large numbers, take that day off and have a conference. There's no need to sort of sabre rattle in front of the government, who will not listen anyway. And even if you were to, you know, pump slurry into the chamber at the House of Commons, they still won't listen because they think that they are some mega gods. We know that. But a dictator with no followers is a clown. And if the farmers were simply just to turn their backs and say, well, we're not doing this anymore. We're going to bring back holistic farming. We're going to bring back small-scale farming. We're going to put more animals onto the land. They're trying to get rid of animals. They're trying to break down a tradition that we've had for centuries. If farmers were to actually embrace real farming, back to traditional principles, and looking at some of the evidence about, you know, no dig, and building back the soil and putting back the goodness that our forefathers knew about with crop rotations and things like that, I think that we could create something really good. We could also give the supermarkets and these corporations a bloodied nose, because they've been pulling the strings and dictating how the product must look, and they've been making the actual grain, for example, wheat, a substandard thing, so that it grows in mass and great yields, but it has nothing in it. We've seen how nutrient-free and vitamin-deficient supermarket food is. Well, the farmers have a huge opportunity now. They have an amazing opportunity to turn their backs on all of this and to be our saviours, to be like gods, if you like. We all need to eat. We all want to eat healthy food. The nation would survive so well if our farmers, those people with that knowledge, with that tradition, with the custom, with that amazing tenacity to go out in all weathers. I marvel at the farmers who've had to suffer under these government policies. You are amazing people, and you can save this nation by turning your backs on the government and rejecting all their nonsense. You know it's not good for us. You've almost forgotten that you're making food. To you, it's just commodities. They go out the farm gate, you never know where it goes. And yet, years ago, people of the villages and the towns respected you hugely because they could see your food, they could taste your food, they knew its provenance. We can get back to that. I'm absolutely convinced we can get back to that. And there are many people who want to get on the land and grow and help and be part of that agricultural community. We haven't lost the one thing that Britain was really good at, and that is farming. We haven't yet lost it, but we are in danger of losing it to these corporate idiots who want us to eat bugs and get rid of CO2 and all this rubbish. We haven't lost that. And you, the farmers out there, are the ones, our saviours, our potential saviours. If you turn your backs on these idiot bureaucrats in London and get on with the real job of growing food and raising animals, and giving us, again, that healthy, proper substance that makes us all thrive. Good luck to you.